Welcome to your deep dive.
Ah, yes.
Today we're revisiting a classic, Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
Calance.
We've got excerpts from the book,
Yeah.
your own notes,
Right.
and some critical analysis.
Uh-huh.
We're not just rehashing the plot, you already know that.
Right.
This deep dive is about uncovering the layers of meaning
Yeah.
that make this book so powerful, so thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Decades later,
Yes.
are you ready to explore the world of Maycomb with me?
Absolutely. To Kill a Mockingbird
Okay.
isn't just a story, it's a mirror, reflecting these timeless truths about society, justice, the human heart.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what we discover.
Okay, let's unpack this. Now,
Yeah.
you know Maycomb,
Yeah?
that fictional Alabama town Lee paints so vividly.
Yes.
It's the 1930s.
Right.
The South is steeped in tradition, and racial tensions
Yeah.
simmer beneath the surface. But what's striking is how Lee uses the setting itself to foreshadow the conflicts to come.
Okay.
The oppressive heat,
Yeah.
the slow pace,
Yeah.
the courthouse sagging in the square. It's like Maycomb itself is weary from the weight of its history
Wow.
and secrets.
That's a great observation. It's as though the town is a character
Yeah.
burdened by its past. And right in the heart of this environment,
Yeah.
we have the Finches.
Yes.
They represent a challenge to Maycomb's status quo just
Yeah.
by the way they live.
Right.
Atticus, with his unwavering moral compass,
Yeah.
choosing to defend Tom Robinson,
Uh-huh.
despite the backlash.
You know, I've always been struck by Atticus's quiet strength. He
Yeah.
doesn't preach.
Right.
He doesn't grandstand. He just acts on his principles.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, he exposes the hypocrisy and prejudice
Yeah.
that's woven into the very fabric of Maycomb.
Yeah.
His decision to defend Tom
Yeah.
isn't just a legal strategy. It's a moral statement.
Precisely.
Yeah,
Atticus becomes a lightning rod,
right.
drawing out the town's hidden darkness.
Uh-huh.
And through Scout's eyes, we see this clash unfold.
Yeah.
Her childlike perspective,
Right.
highlighting the absurdity of the prejudice around her.
And let's not forget Boo Radley.
Oh, yeah. Boo Radley.
He's almost a ghost story come to life. The recluse, the
Yeah.
subject of whispers and legends.
Uh-huh.
But he also represents something more profound.
Okay.
The fear of the other. The outsider that society casts aside.
It's fascinating how Lee uses Boo to parallel Tom Robinson.
Yeah.
Both are victims of prejudice, judged
Right.
and condemned based on assumptions
Yeah.
rather than facts.
Mhm.
Boo for his isolation,
Right.
and Tom for the color of his skin.
That's an amazing connection.
Yeah.
It speaks to how prejudice can take many forms
Right.
and often targets the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
And Scout, Jem, and Dill, in their youthful curiosity, become almost obsessed with Boo.
Right.
What do you think Lee is saying about the power of curiosity,
Okay.
especially when it comes to confronting our fears?
Their fascination with Boo reflects this yearning to understand the unknown,
Uh-huh.
to challenge the narratives they've been fed.
Right.
It's a powerful reminder
Yeah.
that empathy often begins with curiosity,
Yeah.
with the willingness to see beyond the surface and connect with the humanity in everyone.
And this curiosity leads them to some pretty adventurous
Yeah.
and sometimes dangerous escapades. Their childhood games become intertwined with the darker realities of Maycomb,
Yeah.
foreshadowing the conflicts that lie ahead.
Take, for example, their attempts to lure Boo out of his house.
Right.
On the surface, it's childish mischief,
Yeah.
but symbolically, it represents their desire to connect with the outcast,
Right.
to bridge the gap between fear
Yeah.
and understanding.
But it's the trial of Tom Robinson
Yes.
that truly shatters their innocence. That courtroom becomes a stage where Maycomb's deepest prejudices play out in full view.
The trial isn't just about legal guilt or innocence.
Right.
It's a morality play.
Yeah.
Atticus, in his masterful cross-examination, dismantles the prosecution's case, exposing the lies
Right.
and inconsistencies.
Yeah.
But his logic
Yeah.
and reason
Uh,
are ultimately no match
right.
for the deeply entrenched racism of the jury.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You see Jem's faith and justice crumble right before your eyes.
Yeah.
And Scout, though younger, starts to grasp the harsh realities of the adult world, the gap between what's right and what often prevails.
And this is where Lee's genius shines,
Yeah.
through Scout's narration.
Right.
We experience the trial not just as a legal event,
Yeah.
but as a deeply personal trauma.
Hmm.
We feel Jem's anger, Scout's confusion,
Right.
and the weight of injustice bearing down on them.
And yet, even in this darkness, Lee offers glimpses of hope.
Okay.
Think about the scene where Scout unknowingly diffuses the lynch mob by talking to Mr. Cunningham about his son, Walter.
It's a remarkable moment.
Yes.
It reveals the power of human connection, of reminding people of their shared humanity, even in the midst of blind rage and prejudice.
It suggests that even in a society as deeply divided as Maycomb, there are cracks in the facade of hatred, moments where empathy can break through.
And it's these moments that give us hope, that remind us change is possible. One connection, one act of courage at a time.
This is just the beginning, though.
Yeah.
The trial's aftermath will reverberate throughout Maycomb, testing the characters' resilience and pushing them to their limits. But we'll delve into that in part 2 of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah.
We left off with the trial of Tom Robinson, a pivotal event that exposed the deep-seated racism within Maycomb.
Yes, and as we saw, the trial's impact extends far beyond the courtroom. It ripples outwards, affecting not just the main characters, but the entire community.
It's like the trial ripped off a mask, revealing the true face of Maycomb's prejudice.
Absolutely.
And the fallout is devastating, especially for Tom Robinson.
And Tom's conviction, despite overwhelming evidence of his innocence, underscores the tragic reality that justice is often elusive, especially for those who are marginalized and oppressed. His subsequent death while attempting to escape prison further highlights the systemic injustice he faced, leaving a profound sense of grief and disillusionment.
It's a stark reminder of the human cost of prejudice. But amidst this tragedy, there are characters who stand as beacons of resilience. Like Calpurnia. She's not just the Finch family's housekeeper. She's a pillar of strength and wisdom for Scout and Jem.
Calpurnia is fascinating. Because she navigates two worlds, two sets of social rules. You pointed out earlier how she code switches, adjusting her language and demeanor. Depending on whether she's interacting with white people or with the Black community.
And that scene where she takes Jem and Scout to her church, First Purchase African ME Church, is so powerful.
It is.
It's a glimpse into a side of Maycomb the children rarely see.
That experience is a turning point for Scout and Jem. They witness the strength and resilience of the Black community, but they also see the prejudice they face, even within the church. Remember Lula's reaction to their presence? It's a stark reminder that segregation and prejudice permeate even the most sacred spaces.
But what's important is how Calpurnia handles that situation. She stands her ground, defending her decision to bring Jem and Scout, and emphasizing the shared humanity that binds them all. She models courage and grace in the face of bigotry.
It makes you think about the burden she carries every day, having to constantly navigate these social complexities. It's a subtle but powerful commentary on the emotional toll of segregation.
And it raises important questions about identity and belonging. How much do you have to compromise yourself to fit in? How do you maintain your own sense of self while navigating a world that demands conformity?
Those are questions that resonate far beyond Maycomb in the 1930s. They speak to the universal human experience of trying to find your place in a world that often feels divided and hostile.
Exactly.
And it's not just Calpurnia who challenges the social order. Miss Maudie, with her independent spirit and sharp wit, also provides a counterpoint to Maycomb's stifling conventions.
I love how Miss Maudie is a constant source of support for Scout, offering her a different perspective on the events unfolding around them. She's like a voice of reason amidst the chaos.
Remember how she reassures Scout after the trial? Reminding her that there are good people in Maycomb, people who are working for change, even if it's slow and often invisible.
It's a powerful reminder
Yeah.
That even in the darkest of times, there are always those who are fighting for justice and equality. Yeah. And those individuals can make a difference.
Right.
Even if it doesn't always feel like it.
Their actions may seem small.
Right.
But they plant seeds of hope that can blossom into something larger.
Yeah.
They remind us that we don't have to accept the status quo, that we can all play a role in creating a more just and equitable world.
But the road to change is rarely smooth.
No.
The trial's aftermath brings escalating tension, violence to Maycomb.
Right.
Bob Ewell, fueled by his humiliation in the courtroom, becomes a menacing presence, foreshadowing the danger to come.
Ewell represents the dark underbelly of Maycomb, the festering resentment and hatred that can erupt with devastating consequences. His actions, particularly his threats towards Atticus and his family, highlight the fragility of peace and the vulnerability of those who dare to challenge the established order.
And it's this simmering tension that builds towards the climactic event of the novel, the Halloween night attack on Jem and Scout.
That attack, occurring in the darkness, shrouded in fear and uncertainty, represents the culmination of Maycomb's unspoken anxieties and the eruption of violence that has been simmering beneath the surface.
Lee uses the darkness to symbolize the unknown, the fear that lurks in the shadows. It's a powerful reminder that even in a seemingly peaceful community, danger can lurk unexpectedly, and that even those we think we know can harbor hidden darkness.
The attack also underscores the vulnerability of innocence, particularly in a world where prejudice and hatred are allowed to fester. Remember how Scout, in her bulky ham costume, becomes a symbol of that vulnerability, unable to defend herself or see clearly in the darkness.
It's a heart-stopping moment.
It is.
And it makes the arrival of Boo Radley all the more impactful.
Woo! The figure who has been shrouded in mystery and fear emerges as an unexpected protector.
Yes.
A symbol of hope arising from the most unlikely of places.
It's such a brilliant twist.
It is.
The outcast, the one everyone feared, becomes the savior.
Right.
What do you think Lee is trying to convey through this unexpected turn of events?
Boo's actions challenge our preconceived notions. And remind us that appearances can be deceiving. He embodies the idea that goodness can exist in the most unexpected places. And that those who are ostracized and misunderstood can possess extraordinary strength and compassion.
It's a powerful message of the importance of looking beyond surface appearances and recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every individual, regardless of their social standing or perceived differences.
And in that moment, as Boo steps out of the shadows to protect the children, he becomes a symbol of hope. A testament to the enduring power of compassion and empathy, even in the face of adversity.
We've journeyed through the courtroom drama, the simmering tensions of Maycomb, and the harrowing attack on Jem and Scout. We've seen the darkness of prejudice and the glimmers of hope that persist. But there's still more to uncover. And we'll explore the lasting impact of these events and the novel's enduring legacy in the final part of our deep dive.
Welcome back to our deep dive into To Kill a Mockingbird. We've explored the dark underbelly of Maycomb, the trial that shook the town, and the terrifying attack on Jem and Scout. But now we arrive at a point where darkness gives way to a glimmer of light. Boo Radley, the figure shrouded in mystery and fear, steps out of the shadows to become an unexpected hero.
It's a stunning reversal. The monster of Maycomb's imagination turns out to be a protector, revealing the power of perspective.
And challenging our assumptions about those we perceive as different.
And what strikes me is that Boo's heroism isn't a grand gesture. It's quiet. Almost instinctual. He doesn't seek recognition or reward. He simply acts to protect the vulnerable.
That's what makes it so powerful. Boo's actions are driven by pure empathy, a deep-seated sense of compassion that transcends social norms and expectations. He embodies the idea that goodness can exist even in the most isolated, misunderstood individuals.
It's interesting how Lee connects Boo's heroism to the recurring motif of the mockingbird.
Right.
Atticus tells Scout that it's a sin to kill a mockingbird because they don't harm anyone, they just sing their hearts out.
That's right. The mockingbird symbolizes innocence and purity. And throughout the novel, we see different characters who embody this symbolism.
Right.
Tom Robinson, Boo Radley, even Scout in her own way.
And just as it's a sin to harm a mockingbird, it's a tragedy when innocence is destroyed by prejudice and hatred.
Lee seems to suggest that the true measure of a society is how it treats its most vulnerable members.
Right.
Those who are different, those who are marginalized. And in Maycomb, we see a society that often fails this test.
But even in this flawed society, there are individuals who choose to protect the innocent.
Right.
To stand up for what's right.
Atticus, Miss Maudie, Sheriff Tate in his own way. They all make choices that challenge the prevailing prejudice and offer glimmers of hope. And it's through their example that Scout learns valuable lessons about compassion, courage, and the importance of standing up for what you believe in.
And let's talk about Scout. She's our guide through this story.
Right.
And her journey of growth and understanding is at the heart of the novel. From a tomboyish child to a more empathetic young woman. She embodies the possibility of transformation. Even in a world filled with darkness.
It's through Scout's eyes that we experience the complexities of Mako, the pain of disillusionment, and the enduring power of hope. And her final act of walking Boo Radley home is a powerful symbol of her newfound empathy. She sees the world from his perspective, recognizing his humanity and the quiet sacrifices he has made.
It's a beautiful moment of connection, of understanding. And it speaks to the novel's enduring message, the transformative power of empathy.
Lee seems to argue that empathy is not just a feeling, it's a choice. It's a decision to step outside of our own limited perspectives and try to see the world through the eyes of others.
And in a world that often feels divided and hostile, this message resonates more than ever.
To Kill a Mockingbird is more than just a coming-of-age story or a courtroom drama. It's a reflection on the human condition, a kindless exploration of good and evil, prejudice and compassion, innocence and experience.
And it leaves us with a profound question. What will we choose to see? Will we perpetuate the prejudices of our time? Or will we, like Scout, choose to embrace empathy and understanding even in the face of darkness?
It's a question that challenges us to examine our own beliefs and actions and to consider how we can build a more just and compassionate world.
This deep dive has taken us into the heart of Maycomb, a fictional town that reflects the complexities and contradictions of our own world. We've explored the power of storytelling, the impact of prejudice, and the enduring hope that can be found in unexpected places. But the journey doesn't end here. To Kill a Mockingbird is a book that continues to speak to us long after we finish reading it, inviting us to grapple with its themes and to carry its message of empathy and understanding into our own lives.